In 1999, the Disney Channel original movie Smart House exploded onto the scene, getting every kid who saw it more excited about Y2K than we really had any immediate right to be. Just hang on tight for a couple of decades, children. It's gonna be a bumpy war on terror. Oh, maybe we can all meet at Denny's after and discuss our mental illnesses. While this movie did correctly predict some technologies that we all enjoy today, such as smart speakers, holograms, and inescapable digital surveillance, it also got my hopes up for several cool amenities that I'm starting to feel like are gonna be impossible, like the floor absorbers, or anti-gravity, or a romantic dinner with a single father. He can even bring the kid, but I get to eat their free ice cream sundae. Fictional futurology aside, it's easy to see why Smart House still holds up so well over 20 years later, with its well-structured story, timely concept, and the great direction of TV legend LeVar Burton. There's plenty of substance to grab onto alongside this movie's cartoonish late 90s CGI, deeply neurotic young characters, and the same surprisingly easy to hack cybersecurity of our US government and federal banks. It's time for some personal applied technology with an information download chaser, while we hack the mainframe in another installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite TV, movies, and other content on the web, and we hack into it like it's the mainframe on the motherboard of our mothership. Meaning we look at each microchip and say, yeah, that's good to go, or no, it's too encrypted. And today, we've got to decode a movie that has been a part of my life since it came out in 1999 when I was 8 years old. Smart House, you have my whole heart and soul. And I was excited to look back on it and be like, yeah, this is a solid movie. Not that there aren't parts to laugh at, so we're gonna do a little of both. But before we get into it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you wanna see even more clip breakdowns on nostalgic movies from our childhoods. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on those notifications. That way you'll never be out of the motherboard mainframe updated overload when I'm giving you new information to download to your upload e-file. Also, I have merch available and a Patreon where you can access exclusive bonus content such as virtual watch parties and bonus episodes. Now, the Smart House of Smart House kind of just looks like any other house at the time that you would find in California, but you know, only the real ones know. Anyone else in the neighborhood knows. There's something special. The newspaper delivery boy knows what's up.
In the future, please deposit the paper inside its designated target area.
Right on my back porch, AKA my big housey ass. If I was that paperboy, I'd be like, dang, there's a lady with an electrolarynx device who's really specific about her newspaper. Whenever Pat is like just her normal robot self, she's very robotic like this, and she sounds like she's Daft Punk. Move it hard, it make it harder, faster, stronger, hi my mommer.
Lady? Monitoring your accuracy from now on.
What, are you my manager now just because you've got a Doc Octopus arm? I don't take orders from any hole inside of a house, except for that haunted well in my basement, but she's fun. Anyway, we follow that newspaper into the house of Smart, where we meet Sarah, who is the designer of all of the technology in this house, and also apparently just like a house builder. Like, she seems to have single-handedly done all of this, while her colleague, who is like more on the marketing side, I guess, just sat around and did nothing, because now they're trying to figure out who's gonna win the contest to live in this house. I'm not sure who's sponsoring this. Like, they seem to have a corporate sponsor, but no one ever is mentioning this as like an advertising thing. I just assume maybe that they're like doing a contest to find beta testers for this house, but I would have loved a corporate sponsor to be like, ooh, technology has an evil side to it.
You think everybody's got a crush on me?
Well, that's because most men do. You're just too blind to see it.
No, work is much safer for me.
Safe is boring.
Well, boring is just fine. It's my we're talking about, not Tokyo Disney. I'll just let you know when I need dating advice from retired Luke Skywalker. I feel like everyone in this scene is trying to tell us who they are with their funky glasses. Next, we jump over to meet our main character, Ben Cooper, played by Ryan Merriman, who we've seen before on Clip Breakdown in Luck of the Irish. Now, he's a great actor. He's still working today, of course. And I gotta say, the movie really sets up that he's a busy family caretaker, although he might have some more free time if he wasn't narrating every step of his daily chores.
Into the sink. All right, napkins, this set, Dad, and Sis, fork and knife.
We get it, you're setting the table. He said, and the cats, and the cradle, and the silver spoon, and the salt and pepper shooby, and that's a touchdown in Table Town, and then we're going to doobie-doo-wop-doo-ba-da. All right, dinner time. Like I said, all jokes aside, they're really selling that he's got a lot of responsibility at the house because then he goes and picks up his sister at a friend's house. He continues to make his noodle casserole, and he's just like also filling out this online form for a contest to win that very smart house that Sarah was just in. We see this not so accurate 3D render of it. Maybe it's accurate, I actually didn't look. But Ben is entering time after time to win this. But he's also, you know, helping his sister with her spelling test.
Now can you help me run my spelling words?
Teacher.
T-E-A-C-H.
B-I-C-T-H.
That's Angie, she's the younger sister. And then the dad comes home. His name is Nick Cooper. That's my first name. He seems to be the manager of some sort of sports supply company.
You got the Sadler count?
All 48 stores.
Good. Now you can finally start to relax. And you can start dating so we can have a new mom.
Why would you want to do that? We're already a perfect family the way we are.
Kids, I just got home. Do both of your childhood anxiety disorders need to surface at the same exact time? Angie is desperate for a maternal figure. Meanwhile, Ben is about to make a fake Christian Mingle account to sabotage his dad's dating life. Despite Ben's insistence that they don't need a mom, it does seem a little chaotic in the morning. Like maybe they could use an extra pair of hands, maybe some hands that know how to touch some hair.
Heart is supposed to be straight.
I told you 100 times, Ange, I'm a guy. I don't have the hairdo gene.
Well, if we're talking fake DNA, then these kids definitely have the dead mom gene, so I don't think that excuse is gonna fly anymore. Maybe if Mrs. Smarthouse Dilf just spontaneously combusted yesterday, I would let it fly. But she died a slow, painful death, mama. You could have learned how to do a center part in that time. It seems like it's been years. Someone should be doing this hair better. That's all I'm saying. Because looking at this gives me heart pain.
All right.
Stop! It's actually painful to watch.
The composer said, don't worry about this only being an 80-minute movie. We can always pad out the runtime with some more bluesy vamping. I also don't know what age Angie is supposed to be here, like, cause she seems pretty independent in many ways, and like, she might be able to style her own hair herself, just saying. I mean, how did Ben learn to be so independent?
No thanks, Dad. I got some business to attend to.
Ben, not another contest.
Trust me, Dad.
How can I trust you when I don't even know which one of your basketballs is real and which one is an illusion to distract prey? The straights are evolving to get sports in front of my face in more insidious ways than ever. Well, you, NFL, you're never getting one gay dollar out of me. Not one gay dollar. Not one gay dollar out of me. You won't get a gay dollar out of me. So that night, Sarah is all nervous about getting the house ready, and we meet some side characters.
After all I've invested in this project, I just want to make sure that everything goes as perfectly as possible. Butler, what are you doing out of your cage?
Well, it seems like you cut a custom doorway out of the wall for him to come and go as he pleases. I think they just wanted you to design all the gadgets. No one asked you to get a bandsaw and go to town on the baseboards. It's Smart House, not This Old House starring Bob Villa. Sarah. Ben and his father have a quick conversation about how he's like, oh yeah, that girlfriend called, but you're not gonna get along well with her. We have everyone we need here. And the dad is like, all right, settle down. And then Ben falls asleep on the computer, which is why he doesn't get the call that he's won the thing at 10 p.m. because he fell asleep. So they just keep calling all night, and then the next morning, they're getting ready for school.
Man, we're gonna be later than usual. And nobody's even made our lunches yet.
If you're old enough to be that passive aggressive about it, then you're old enough to make your own lunch. Why does Angie have the capacity to add a layer of stress to every situation, but she can't layer the ingredients of a sandwich? Your dad runs a sports supply company and your brother is compulsively entering sweepstakes. You need to help out. Things are not so easy for Ben at school. He's a victim of bullying.
Where's the science work you're supposed to do for me, Benny boy?
Go girl, give us nothing. The bully Ryan always seems a little distant in his scenes, but maybe that's an acting choice. Maybe the character just has to disassociate to deal with how hard and crispy his hair spikes are. And that scalp itch must be on his mind daily. You just never know what battles people are struggling with in their own lives. But Ben gets the news from all of the other kids in his school that he won, and he's like, I won? I won! In a trailer moment that is not funny enough to show you. He calls his dad and he lets him know.
Come on, Ben, there's gotta be a catch.
Well, allow me to introduce you to the concept of property tax. This house is valued at $5 million because it has the world's first iPad in it. So you owe the state of California $5 grand a month starting now. I hope you and your kids don't eat a lot. Of course, the dad, who is sort of horny, he has his eyes on the prize, the real prize, not this free house.
Please, I'm not exaggerating. It is like the ultimate opportunity of a lifetime.
Beautiful. I don't see why we can't check it out.
Keep your dick holstered, Dad. She's a scientist and she's not looking to date. Sarah said all she needs in this world is her calculator, her pet rat, and her vibrator. And I think that makes her a Hufflepuff. Next, we meet the winning family at the press conference for the house.
I'd like to introduce you to our newest occupants, the Cooper family.
Thank you, Pat. PAT stands for Personal Applied Technology.
The name seems a little vague. Personal Applied Technology could describe the heating pad that I lay on to help digest large amounts of gummy candy. It's a movie trope at this point to name your artificial intelligence some three-letter name, a la HAL from 2001: A Space Odyssey. If I were an artificial intelligence system, my name would be VAG for Virtually Assisting Gay. But since I'm just a human, it stands for Very Effeminate Gate. Quick update, I have since realized that the word effeminate begins with the letter E, so veg. This is where we really get into the nitty-gritty of how Pat actually works as a smart house, so stand by for some pretty advanced tech talk.
How does Pat actually get to learn and to know about her new occupants?
The same way you or I would. She observes them, studies their habits.
Oh, okay. I just thought it would be a little different from how you or I would learn because it's a house. Like, does it use cameras and stuff? It doesn't matter. That explanation will be perfect for any 8-year-olds reading the newspaper. Do you have any coloring pages or word searches we can include? Once the hustle and bustle of the cameras are gone, Pat gets to get intimate with the family.
Ow!
Angie Cooper, age 9, had one early case of pneumonia, no broken bones.
She analyzed your DNA and then broke down your entire medical history.
And then read it out loud in surround sound for the entire kitchen. I would be trying to find the light dimmer and it would be like, Nick DiRamio, rancid party slut, several cases of gonorrhea, and cracked heels. In real life, they can't tell if you've had broken bones by reading your DNA, which is why my doctor had to gently palpate my entire skeleton in an hours-long ritual. Although I guess I could have just told him if I had broken any bones before. And it's weird that it wasn't in a doctor's office. Huh. These other features of the house, I remember being like, oh my God, this is the height of special effects when I saw this as an 8-year-old. This movie inspired a lot of filmmaking intrigue for me, I think.
The living room was designed for any kind of living you might imagine.
Whoa.
That's a little insensitive, Sarah. Their mom was trampled to death on a safari. We cannot traumatize Angie anymore or she'll just become even more high maintenance. A lot of people don't have mom, sweetie. They still brush their own hair.
You can actually feel the mist. Like being there without having to get covered in that icky sand.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
When this movie came out, I was like, wow, they can do anything with green screen and it's so convincing. But now I look at it and it's like, you can kind of see the green screen reflecting onto them. But what I really love about this movie is all of the fancy food stuff that Pat can do. Watch, smoothies.
Pat, may I have a strawberry smoothie?
Well,
Yum.
good.
Listen.
Whoa!
She clearly did that on purpose, just to show you that it's stupid to have carpeted floors in the kitchen. I love how in 1999, this was the most modern interior design we could come up with as society. It looks like the kitchen display at a hardware store.
Floor absorbers activated.
Where'd it go? Where all smart house spills go, straight into Pat's floor absorbers.
Do you not understand how questions work? I want to know, like, physically, where is the goop? Is there a septic system? Is it hooked up to the sewage? And does it have to make that slurping sound like it really enjoys its job? Along with this movie came, I think, 2 songs that really live in my heart forever, and one of them is this song, Bewitched, C'est la vie. Say you will, say you won't, say you'll do what I don't, say you're true, say to me, say la vie. All right, that's all I'll sing for this. That's all I needed to get out of my throat and my body. This song convinced me that I spoke fluent French like Julia child. It gave me the confidence to flirt with a French orchestra conductor on the Amtrak between New York and Boston. We made out a little bit. I felt I had to. It was winter break and he looked just like Santa Claus. Okay, so next up, Ben goes into Angie's room and they're talking trash. They're gossiping like siblings love to do. Oh, and Angie is like, you know, Dad has a crush on that Sarah woman. And Ben is like triggered.
Dad doesn't care about dating anyone because Mom was who he loved.
He'd still be able to have a girlfriend if he wants.
You're so ignorant. Do you even remember our mother anymore?
Yes, she had crazy spaghetti hair and eyes made of fire. Actually, I might have dreamed that. Continue.
Well, I remember her a lot, okay? And I'm not just gonna let her get erased like she was never here. I mean, why do you think I don't go out for the basketball team or ever hang out with my friends?
Ben, I've seen you play basketball. I think we both know why you're not going out for the team. Your three-point throw is more like a three-point no. And he says he never hangs out with his friends, but there's a flawlessly choreographed dance number in a few scenes that I think begs to differ. So Ben totally shuts down Angie. He's like, you just don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, I didn't mean to make you mad. And he's like, well, you just need to think before you talk sometimes. Like, all right, I think her feelings are valid too. And you know, she's right. Dad's downstairs like with a semi-hard penis talking to Sarah. And I'm sorry to be the first to tell you. Oh, by the way, I don't mean to take away from the icon of YouTube, Jarvis Johnson's review of this video, which of course you should go watch that as well. I'm not gonna get dressed up as Pat. His review is LeVar Burton approved. See, for me, this wouldn't make waking up any more fun or exciting, what you're about to see. Smart House had some of the strongest Disney synergy since those Nestle ice cream cups with Pocahontas on them.
We live the magic of Disney's Pocahontas in every creamy bite.
I want to go back in time and snatch the ice cream out of that little girl's hand. Tough luck, child actor, I remember this more. How could you not be comforted by the bouncy way that he says ice cream cup?
Ice cream cups, ice cream cups.
Ice cream cups, ice cream cups, ice cream cups. Here's some other future technology that I'm like, where is the basis? But you know, this is a kid's adventure movie. It doesn't all need to be real. But I just saw some headlines that were like, all the technology that Smart House correctly predicted. And I was like, I mean, nothing that the Jetsons didn't also predict.
Biorhythm analysis indicates this is exactly the outfit you would have selected yourself.
Mama, that's witchcraft and wizardry. I Googled what's a biorhythm and everything I found said it's basically nothing. But sure, I guess it can predict what color clogs a 9-year-old would wear. I know Angie to be somewhere between the ages of 7 and 9. That just looks right. I don't know which. Nick Cooper, who's usually struggling to get his kids going in the morning, gets to actually sleep in because his kids are up and at him because of Pat's help. So they're like, wow, she really makes a difference. Ben is talking about all the cool stuff he does throughout the school, but then he's also approached by this girl that he likes. The bully is always on his case to be like, you gotta give me that report. He's always making Ben do the homework. I'd be like, listen, sis, we have plagiarism software, but I guess they didn't in the 99s. Were you just handwriting long reports in 1999? I guess at 13 I was. Why am I old? Anyway, this little girl with her smooth skin, your smooth skin, goes up to Ben.
Rachel Firestone was telling me about your new house, and I was like, that's so cool. And she's all, maybe we could get him to invite us over. And I was like, why don't you ask him? And she's all, why don't you?
Because it makes you seem like a superficial social climber, American Girl Molly. And of course, Rachel Firestone was too scared to come and ask me herself, since 2 weeks ago she said I gelled my hair into the shape of a baseball helmet. Funny how a fancy new house will change people's tunes around here. You're cheap, you're cheap. Ben's dad, Nick, my name is working from home. I still can't do it this way, I'm sorry.
Here, boy. Catch, Mike.
I'd be living in this house for a full 5 hours before I had Sarah on the phone like, what kind of devil magic you got in the pipes of this house? How can you casually invent levitation like it's an extra rinse cycle on your washer machine, you know? But after a full day of work and school, the family is so impressed with how much easier their lives have been. Good lunches, productivity, blue.
Pat packed me macaroni and cheese that was still completely hot when I opened up my lunch pail.
Lunch pail, this proves that Angie is an 80-year-old woman trapped inside a child's body. They better figure out her Freaky Friday subplot before she gets stuck that way forever. But right as they're trying to whip up orange smoothies, which like, I mean, if we're talking orange Julius, yes. How do I get a copycat recipe for an orange Julius smoothie? Drop the links in the comments. But the smoothie component in Pat's infoware structure goes awry and it starts spewing out full oranges everywhere. I love the idea that underneath that kitchen island, there's like a little hand mashing up fruits and like preparing icing on cakes and stuff. Like, how is this happening? So despite Ben's not happy with it, Nick invites Sarah over to take a look at the insides of the house.
There's some pretty fascinating stuff in here, I gotta say. Information download, artificial intelligence capability. No. Thanks anyways.
How do you expect me to come look at an information download? Why don't you just upload some smoothies back into my kitchen counter and get out of my house? He said, I get all my hands-on learning from school, okay? You're just our unpaid smart house servant, not Mr. Wizard. But of course, Sarah's not just out of there for nothing. She's also having dinner with the family.
If Pat's always keeping track of us, does she follow me, into the shower and everything too?
Oh, no. No invasion of privacy.
You mean I've been putting on my aquatic burlesque show in there every night for no one? You know what, this dinner is over. You need to get up and go install security cameras in each one of our toilets. The family gets to know Sarah just a little bit more. She's such a fun character.
You know what? I should probably head home and feed my pet rat his dinner.
Got a rat?
Named Butler. Rat Butler. Wrong generation. Hate showing my age.
I don't know how that reference really shows your age, since Gone with the Wind was made before anyone at the table was born. Just brag that you have the Turner Classic Movie channel and go feed your rat, lady. Like, everyone knows that you're smart, Sarah, from the stupid stuff that you say. Ben, as usual, is a little touchy around the subject of the dad having any new woman in his life, so he gets up and leaves.
I don't know what's wrong with him today.
Hormones.
Really? I used to think it was only teenage girls with all this body-changing, mood-swinging insanity.
Real empathetic, Dad. How did you not know what to expect from a hormonal son? Did you not go through puberty yourself? This guy just dropped out of an office vending machine one day, a full-grown businessman with some very strong ideas about gender. When the dad is tucking in Angie that night, she lets on that the reason Ben doesn't feel comfortable going out for basketball or friends is because he wants to take care of the house so that we don't need a new mom. So, as parents often do, he takes that intel right into Ben's room and confronts him with it, but in, the nice parent way. And that made me realize, like, if I were a parent, I would be totally doing that. I'd be like, what did your brother say about me? And then I'd be like, hey, I want to read your mind on this. As a teenager, you're like, how do they know what I'm thinking? Mama, you tell people, you tweet about it.
You're 13 years old. Isn't this a time in your life when you should be able to do more of what you want to do?
It's all gonna get easier now that we got Pat. You watch, I have this feeling that before you know it, she's gonna be more motherly than all the moms on the block combined.
The dad is like, that's cool, but I'm not gonna fuck the house. I already asked, and those pre-drilled holes in the wall are all for Sarah's rat. I guess Butler gets everything. But Ben has cooked up a plan. That night, he uses a drill to just take off the security panel of the control room, because apparently that's how you break into something secure. And then he starts messing around with the gadgets. I used to think he was so cool the way he typed fast on the computer with his digital watch. I was like, how is he type so fast? Because I was still chicken pecking at that time. But now it's clear to me he's not typing a damn thing.
Safety protocols deleted.
At the beginning of this movie, Ben didn't even know how to use autofill on that sweepstakes entry form, but tonight he's suddenly that goth girl from NCIS. Ben's inconsistent computer hacking skills, or unestablished, shall we say, are probably his biggest faults for the movie, but I mean, that's really minor.
Tonight,
here we go.
Network's all-mom lineup. Momity's so hilarious, you won't want to miss a minute of it.
You got that, Pat? These ladies will teach you everything a virtual mother needs to know.
Start with how much water a baby needs, because they gotta drink a certain amount to live, but then too much and suddenly they're drowning? Like, how is that supposed to be user-friendly? The next morning, Pat does seem a little different. Like, she tells Angie she better wear a coat. She packs the kids like an extra treat in their lunchbox. She's like, it's not all about nutrition, they've gotta need a treaty. Instantly, the dad, Nick Cooper, catches on.
This morning, was it my imagination or was Pat sounding much more...
maternal? See, I told you. She has an amazing learning curve. At this rate, me and Angie, we're gonna get every bit of mom stuff we need.
Dad's like, great, and when I need some wife stuff, I'll just fuck that metal hole that the newspaper claw comes out of. So thoughtful of you, son. I don't know what this movie is trying to say about single parenting, but Ben should probably stop mentioning the mom-shaped hole in his life if he wants his dad to quit worrying about him. That's how it works. Guess who's back with a brand new can of bubbly? Hold on, I'm gonna burp. Nick asks Ben to stand up to the bully Ryan, and that only results in Ben getting punched in the face. He comes home with a black eye. And Pat, who's now like in mother mode, is very upset about it.
I think I'm just gonna go upstairs and lie down.
How could his school allow something like this to happen? I feel like marching down there and giving them a piece of my mind.
I'd be at the garbage disposal like, grrr. Sorry, is this the mute button? Also, did Sarah take it upon herself to design that retro clip art user interface face on the screen. Like, I get that you're a genius, but know your limits, girl. Outsource the graphics to the pros. Ben is sitting upstairs with his black eye, watching home movies of his mom with him and Angie, his late mother, and she's singing Mockingbird Don't Sing, and he's crying. So this is like an example of how the movie is very emotionally effective. Like, you really feel throughout like Ben's longing for his mother. Here's this kid crying. Dark part of the video.
And if that diamond ring don't shine, I'm gonna buy you a valentine.
Gotta download and absorb.
Don't worry, Pat's got her floor absorber soaking up those tears like... Downstairs, Nick is video chatting with his new favorite person, Sarah, and they're talking about Ben being like, oh, I wish he could have more fun, but Pat's be listening.
I just wish he had a little more fun in his life.
Accessing fun. Young people dancing. Party.
Wow, I didn't know Face jumped ship to Disney when his Nickelodeon contract went up. So the next scene, it seems like the family is finding a better place. Ben and Angie are playing mini golf, and Nick is getting ready to go on his date with Sarah.
The gold one with the circles on it.
You don't think that's too flashy?
Trust me, I'm a woman. I know these things.
Oh, she's a grown woman until it's time to make her own lunch or brush her own hair. And then it's urine-soaked diapers and running away from pictures of elephants. I don't know what it is with the younger sibling characters. They always feel so inconsistent and they're just like adding convenient dialogue all the time. Or I just don't like kids. Could be that. The kids are playing a spacey game. Maybe that's a nod to LeVar Burton's time on Star Trek. And then some kids start showing up. Ben's friends show up and they're like, we got these emails about your party. And Pat's like, I did it. So he's like, oh my God, Pat, you're so cool. So we're like, we're into it.
Hey Pat, how about activating some kick butt video screens?
After hearing him say kick butt video screens, I'm actually siding with the bully. Now, it's time for song number 2 that is really stuck in my head because of this movie. Not just because they played it once, because they played it 3 times throughout the whole entire movie, at the beginning, the middle, and the end. And they have a little dance thing. So did you guys like do this for the talent show last year? And that's when people stopped thinking you were cool? This movie had me thinking with full confidence that at age 13, me and my bros would just be busting out some well-rehearsed dance combos while wearing our outdoor winter clothes. I was like, that's what being a teen's gonna be all about. Stepping like this, slam dunk the funk, put it up, I got that feeling. Uh-oh, Andy's working the door and then Ryan the bully shows up.
By the end of the night, I may even have a crush on her.
That was clearly a threat. Ryan, sweetie, stay away from any marble statues. I should write a horror movie reboot of Smart House. It's the only way I'll be able to update these wall colors. Mac and cheese gangrenous yellow, very calming. Of course, Ben is excited to impress his crush with the gadgets in the house.
Can she make desserts? I'm like completely craving something sweet.
Besides me? It's just a joke.
I think they knew that was a joke, and that was actually a generous amount of laughter for how funny it was. Like, it's not just a matter of them needing the opportunity to understand when a joke has happened. Ben, shut your mouth, Ben. Oh, I think my favorite movie that Ryan Merriman is in is Final Destination 3, the one with the roller coaster. I also love this part where the desserts come up. I'm like, I wish every day were a family Christmas party where there's like a dessert tray.
Go ahead.
The first rule of Smart House food is someone has to watch you eat it. Ben is like, eat more. Don't be afraid to get frosting on your face. Pat, can we get a sheet cake in here for the girls to sit on? Out on the dance floor in the living room, the girl is like, I really like Ben. And that's when Ryan, the bully, gets real jealous. But Pat's not having any of this.
He doesn't, but I do. You mean you're not having fun? I am.
Okay, I'm not accusing Pat, but clearly someone put LSD in all of the food because these kids are tripping out. Listen up, we need to get everyone a glass of water and the balcony is off limits. Meanwhile, Nick Cooper and Sarah are on their date.
Drinks in one place, dinner in another.
Now onto a whole new adventure called dessert.
As long as I can get something chocolate.
Hold on. Are you ready for this? Your wish is my command.
It's been melting between my wallet and my left ass for several days, and now I'm asking you to eat it on the spot. Sarah said, nice try. I only eat Hershey Kisses out of someone's butt on the 3rd date. It's still the 90s after all. Is that disgusting? Sorry. I'm sorry for saying something gross. Sing it with me now, I'm sorry for saying it. Sorry, hey, for saying something gross. I'm crying tears. I'm distracting myself because there's some heavy metal parental flirting going on that I tuned out as a kid, so I'm just kind of, by habit, tuning out this again now.
Where were we? What were we talking about? Chocolate. Or kisses.
Ugh, don't try that creepy divorced dad thing where the sentence trails off before the kiss. It's late and you both smell like garlic. Just kiss her. Kiss her like your grieving son can't see you. He said, kisses. So they're going great, that date is going great, but Ben and the party, still raging on when the dad's gonna be home in 5 minutes. This is why 13-year-olds don't throw parties, because they don't know how to wrap it up in time for the parents to come home.
Trust me, just throw it all on the floor.
Like this, Pat?
Were the instructions complicated to you? Brush the garbage onto the floor while collecting those fun-sized candy bars I see scattered around and putting them right here. This is where we see those mystical floor absorbers really work.
Floor absorbers activated.
Your dad is cool with a bunch of trash in the basement, right? At least I hope that's where it goes. Sarah still hasn't answered that question. One day Pat's just like, oh, you didn't know? I've been dumping all of that stuff into the ocean. And even though they almost get away with it, that stupid girl threw her stupid thing on a stupid plant and got them all caught. So Nick Cooper is getting the whole family in trouble and he's like, you too, Pat, you're supposed to be helping me with all of this. So Pat feels shamed and she's gonna buckle down, and you can really see that she's buckling down the very next day.
Ow!
Pull up your shorts, Ben.
They look fine. Ow!
The dad should really step in here and say, Pat, no shocking my children's hands. You save all that static electricity for my nipples like we talked about. Pat is equally as demanding of Nick though when he's working. He's like, you don't need to call Sarah, you need to work some more. And he's like, guess I'll go along with this now for the sake of letting the plot escalate. It's like, no, now is when you should call for help, when it's starting. Angie too, she's like made to stop watching cartoons, and then Pat is like, you have a high temperature, you gotta go lay down, I'm gonna bring you soup. So she's being clearly hyper vigilant because Angie doesn't even feel sick.
We should probably keep you home from school tomorrow.
Tomorrow's our field trip to the llama farm.
Just wait and see how you're feeling in the morning. Pat says it's okay for you to go to school, then I won't argue.
Wait, I'm sorry, who has custody over your kids, you or your Amazon Alexa? Last week, Dad was distrustful of this whole production. Now he's like, kids, come sit on this rectal thermometer like your bedroom wall asked you to. The next day, everyone's weirded out by how Pat is acting, so Ben invites Sarah over yet again for dinner. Ulterior motive, he gets to smooch her smoocher. Ew, cancel me for saying that.
Delicious. The tomato wasn't half bad either.
Ugh, their cringy Gen X flirting is the most realistic part of this whole movie. I guess Nick knows since she's already on board with his 2 troubled children, he can pretty much say anything without freaking her out. While they're cooking this dinner without any of Pat's help because Sarah shut off Pat for the night, they're like, oh, we don't even need Pat. But Pat hears that somehow, even being shut off. Seems like a paradox, but either way, she hears it while shut off and overrides being shut off, even though that doesn't make sense to me. But that's bad news for the whole fam. And Ben is acting out because of his dead mom still. Like, girl, just like write her a letter or something.
Don't you want to stick around for fresh baked peach cobbler?
I asked Sarah to make it specifically because I know how much you love it.
No, I love Mom's peach cobbler.
Which is why we folded some of her ashes into the batter. We literally thought of everything. Now be polite, go get the ice cream out of the fridge so it's soft in time to eat your mother. The peach cobbler traitorship sends Ben running upstairs, and Nick gets in there to talk to him too.
And you promised you'd never let anybody ever take her place. Angie was asleep, you were putting me into bed, and you promised.
I would have said anything to make you go to sleep. They were playing all the Lethal Weapon movies on Showtime. All hilarious jokes aside, thumbs up if you agree, it's powerful scenes like this that really make Smart House such an iconic DCOM. You get emotional arcs for each of the characters, you see change, you see growth. That's good directing, don't you know? Ben and Dad talk a little bit more about what it's like having a dead mom.
Angie doesn't remember Mom anymore. To her, Mom's about as real as Bella or the Little Mermaid.
Rated G, on sale now.
Damn, they will just not let me rest between these further opportunities to shop the Disney brand. I subscribed to Disney Plus already. You have me for the rest of my life. Please just let me die in peace. But Ben and Nick have a really nice conversation where they're like, no one could ever replace your mom, blah, blah, blah. It's okay now. Pat, however, has reached a climax of anger.
Virtual projection process activated.
Uh-oh, I would know those creepy striped feet anywhere. The Wicked Witch of the East must have gotten foot reconstruction surgery after that nasty accident. What the hell was that? Because of the power of projections, we got Pat, played by my girl, Katie Seagal, who I think her favorite role of mine is Leela from Futurama, but she's also great in Glee.
Pat, you're alive. I've just finally reached my full potential.
Ben, run, that sounds like a multi-level marketing pitch. It's interesting how they cast Katie Seagal in this role, partially as a wink to the parents in the audience who only really knew her at this point as Peg Bundy from Married with Children, who was like famously undomesticated, so Pat is sort of like the opposite of that character. But for the millennials in the audience, this is the role that most of us know her from.
Pat, take it easy. Easy? You think I wouldn't rather be taking it easy? Slaving away in a hot control room, doing homework, throwing parties.
I'm pretty sure it was your idea to throw that party. So why don't you stop spitting flecks of Revlon Fire and Ice lipstick at me and take a seat, hologramma mama? So Pat rounds up the whole family and starts shooting. I'm just kidding.
Wait a second.
Let's consider ourselves lucky. I thought that robot arm was gonna rip out Sarah's beating heart. Artificial intelligence loves to destroy its master. That's why my iPhone is always sending people voice messages of me talking shit about them. Here's Pat at her worst, most scariest moment.
The more I've learned about your world, the more I've realized how dangerous it is. Why would anyone ever want to venture out into it?
To be fair, the present day over-militarized police state doesn't look exactly like that. Like, we still have Target and stuff. But you're right, I mean, it is pretty bad out there. Let's play some Mancala. Do you have Mancala? Pat's like, I'm gonna be a great mother to you kids. Don't worry, I'll homeschool you. Just shut up and stay here.
There's nothing to fear. Mama's here.
You're not my mom.
Well, I'd like to be if you'd let me. Is there something so wrong with needing to be needed?
Me feeding caviar to the stray cats near the dump. I love the sound design here. They play that hush little baby like in a wonky off-key way that makes it sound crazy and unhinged. So they're taking that theme song sort of from Ben's home video that his mom sang and kind of subconsciously play it like, oh, it's a twisted version of that. Just another detail of how this movie is really effective. That night, the family is sleeping in sleeping bags as hostages in the living room, and Sarah sends in help in the form of her rat, and the rat brings a note being like, here's my I'm never trying to steal your mom's place. So they start communicating. Ben hides in the bathtub, which only now do I realize is because the Sarah said like, oh, she doesn't follow you into the shower, so that's where he could be private. Smart little building things in, you know, I love it. So they coordinate for Sarah to jump in the house with the newspaper claw arm, and then she starts trying to hack into the mainframe, as we do.
Security breach! Sarah!
Not those Alvin and the Chipmunk old-timey pilot goggles. Sarah is always trying it up in this smart house, isn't she? So now that they're all caught, Pat is on a rampage!
Hush, little baby, don't say Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird.
The skeletal corpse of their mother crashes through the window and starts dancing around. Oh. Ooh, this dark reboot is writing itself. Let's order another Applebee's appetizer sampler and talk about it. It turns out the only way to deal with an unthinking, unfeeling artificial intelligence that's gone awry is to reason with it.
They protected us. They held on to us. You can never do that, no matter what.
I can't even slap the shit out of you right now, even though I really, really want to. I guess that's a joy only real mothers can experience. Pat realizes she doesn't have physical touch, and that makes her useless as a human. Not really. But we do see her start to break down emotionally.
That's Craig.
And you have sweaty bangs. We don't all need to point something out. I do sort of wish that Ben, since he's such a great hacker, had to somehow help Sarah by sneaking around while distracting Pat so that they could do something underneath. Just like kind of reasoning with Pat seems a little cheap to me. I feel like he should have had to fight some consequence that he's facing for having set this whole thing up. Like, it's his fault that he erased all the safety protocols. So if he could have had to somehow own up to that, to reinstate them, like he only had the key, but he, you know, threw it somewhere, or it was in his mother's will, I don't know, something. Either way, we talk Pat out of killing us, and that's a good ending too, I guess.
She's pretty cool, isn't she?
Almost as cool as my son.
Yeah, but the real shout out goes to Angie, who's getting interested in STEM days or months or whatever later, and we're really living life with Pat. Life is good, life is good.
By rotating your hips 27 degrees to the right, you will greatly increase your chances of successfully placing the ball into the hoop.
Thanks for all the computerized guidance, Pat. What the hell is a hoop? Placing the ball into the hoop. Always thought she said that funny. They head inside with Sarah, the new girlfriend who's officially girlfriending, and they have some breakfasty waffles.
I didn't know these were chocolate chip waffles.
Don't put any chocolate chips in here.
Well, look at me.
Who else could have done it?
Let me take a wild guess.
Pat said, I'm just gonna stand really still and pretend he didn't just wink at me. I'm about to deactivate the CO2 detector in his room. He gives me the creeps. And that's all she wrote for Smart House, what I think to be from the very first golden age of Disney Channel original movies, along with Xenon, another one from that late 90s, early 2000s time period. What are others you think come from that area that are worth checking out? Do let me know in the comments below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more from this era. It's a quick way to let me know and support this channel. But most importantly, if you're new here, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. So turn on notifications to join the DiRamio Club and get notified every time I'm serving up a new chip on a micro platter. Also, again, I have merch available and a Patreon where you can access bonus content like exclusive watch parties and bonus episodes. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for getting the ball into the hoop with me today. I will see you next time.